Hi, I'm Bruce Morgan, and I'm a candidate for the Board of Directors at Cloud9 Ranch. Everybody should be getting their voting packets. If they haven't already, they'll be there soon. And today I'd like to take a little time and go over the voting process with you. Inside the packet, several documents. The purpose of this video is going to go over if you are voting and returning your ballot by mail. We won't go over the part where if you are giving your permission to proxy vote. So this is just going to be if you're going to vote and send the ballot in. You'll see the small envelope. This envelope is very important. You have to place your director ballot where you vote for me, Bruce Morgan, 2 times right there in that envelope, and then you place it inside this envelope and you put your return address and make sure you put your membership number. Now, when you return this back to the post office, you're going to need 2 stamps. It's going to cost 70 cents to mail this back. So make sure you put 2 stamps on there so that you can get this in. We're going to go over the board of directors, the budget, and the rule change ballots. So this is the director ballot. This is where you'll vote for 2 positions on the board. There's 4 people running. Since there's 2 seats open, you have 2 votes this year. So that means you can vote for 1 vote for 2 people, or you can give 2 votes to 1 person. So I'm asking you to vote twice for me. However, if you want to spread the love and vote for 2 people, you could vote once for Bruce Bowers and once for Bruce Morgan. So now that you've voted twice, or 1 and 1, it's time to fold your paper and place it in the ballot envelope. And we'll do that just like this. Go ahead and seal that up. And then we'll place that inside of our voting ballot. And next, we're ready to start voting on the other items. Next up, you'll find a sheet that says 2018 budget. The budget is enclosed inside the voting packet for you to review. The budget is very good. It's prepared by our financial manager, Mary Dickey, and I'm voting I approve on the 2018 budget. So we've voted for the budget. So now we move on to the 4 rule changes. The first rule change is they're changing the 3-hour part of the rule. The 3-hour rule is if you're a guest and you come in and you stay for less than 3 hours, you can do so free. The current process is you check in at the gate, you pay your day use fee. If you check out in the 3-hour period, you get a refund. So the reason why you would do this is if you're just coming over for a barbecue with somebody who's on the ranch, or maybe a birthday party, or maybe you're babysitting or something while somebody at the ranch goes and does something. So this rule really benefits those who stay on the ranch for long term or are living on the ranch. And while there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, there could be some accountability issues with this rule as far as missed check-ins, missed checked outs. There could be some confusion. And I'm of the old adage of if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I'm voting I disapprove for rule number 1. So next up is rule number 2. And this has to do with the storage compounds. And they're adding 2 new proposals saying that all items must be removed from open storage and items cannot remain in open storage for more than 30 days. The open storage they're talking about is the parking lot in front of the old schoolhouse across from Lonesome, all the way down to the Ranch Riders building, also up in Powder Mill, the grass field. Some of you, I'm sure, have noticed a lot of trailers and vehicles hanging out in those areas long term. This proposed rule is to address those issues, and I am voting I approve. Up next is rule number 3 change, and this rule change, they're taking out the clause about building rock dams that impede the natural flow of the water. If you're at the ranch, you'll notice that sometimes we're stacking rocks in the stream. Sometimes we're We're making little walls that maybe slightly divert the creek. The previous rule made it against the rules to do that. So this new rule, they've taken that out. And I think it's great that kids have something to play with other than a video game. So if they want to stack rocks, I'm all for it, and I vote I approve. All right, we're done with that rule. And now we're moving on to the fourth rule that we're going to change. And this one's a long one. But basically, the old rule outlined the use of motorized off-road vehicles. It had some specifications in there that the vehicles couldn't be street legal. They couldn't be registered as a motor vehicle. They also had to be under a certain weight. There were some specific definitions of what an off-road vehicle was, and I think the old rule is really good. This new rule leaves it all up to ranch management, and ranch management, depending upon your definition, could be one person all the way up to the board of directors and ranch management. There's some things in there where it says typically they will register and approve ATVs and UTVs. I just don't like the wording. This gives too much power to one person, and I like the old rule where it had specific definitions of what an off-road vehicle was. And this gives it too much to interpretation and gives too much power to one person. So I'm voting I disapprove on this, and I hope you do too. So that's it. We're done voting for Cloud 9. All we have to do is fold up all of our voting material and place that in our envelope, seal it, and make sure we put 2 stamps. So this needs to be received by the ranch by October 20th. Now that doesn't mean you have until October 20th to mail it. It has to be at the ranch no later than October 20th. So make sure you give yourself plenty of time. I encourage you to fill it out right now today and drop it in the mailbox Monday morning on your way back to work, and make sure this gets in plenty of time. So we voted. We've got it in the mailbox, and I want to say thank you. I hope that you voted for me twice, if not at least once. And remember, September the 16th is going to be the board candidate question and answer forum that's hosted there at the ranch. Make sure you come in and do that. Make sure you have your ballots returned in the mail well before October 20th. And again, I appreciate your vote, and I look forward to seeing you at Cloud 9.